Hello, lads and ladies. Welcome back for another live stream. We are back in business. How are we doing? We're a bit zoomed in. I don't know if we're on the right thing, but League One Live. How are we?
You scared. You scared me.
I thought I'd test you.
I was just calculating when I'm going to buy my tickets for Barnsley and Birmingham away, and here you are, just throwing me in a live stream.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm all right. I've had a night off tonight, so I'm nice and fully refreshed.
I did.
By the way, Sue's looking after me on Saturday. She's making me ham sandwiches and cakes for looking after Connie while they all go to Leyton Orient.
It's nice of Connie to look after you.
Is it? Thanks, mate. But yeah, no, I'm all right, mate. I'm good. I'm a little bit sore from yesterday, but no, for the most part, life is all right. How are you?
You've only mentioned that you've been to the gym this week 3 times in those first 38 seconds of being in it.
Like to let them know I'm there.
I quite fancy not going to Bromley away now and just coming to Sue's house on Saturday just for the ham sandwiches alone. That I don't want to really fancy going to Bromley. To be fair.
You can come and watch. We could watch it on in a legitimate means, of course.
Yeah. Well, you can watch Gillette Soccer Saturday, can't we? All the scores coming in.
Yeah, we can watch Gillette Soccer Saturday. That's what I was thinking.
On Sky Pass. Yeah. How are we, mate? You okay? And I went to Tranmere last night. Well, that was an experience.
Lovely ground, Tranmere.
You think?
I like the big stand behind the goal, the Kop.
Yeah.
And we win there a lot,
right.
so it is nice. It was a bit of a boring game, wasn't it, from you?
Yeah, well, 0-0. It was awful. Anything else? But the vlogs can't get any deader this year. Fleetwood going whacking a 0-0 away from home. So thanks for that, boys. Thanks for that.
I might have Virtues out.
I might have Virtues out for at least 6-8 weeks, I'd say. With a hamstring injury. I thought we'd pop on tonight with a show. We've got 7 games. He's got nobody else to talk to. I've got nobody else to talk to. So I thought, right, let's just talk.
I will have you know, about 7 o'clock, I left my flat, went to Sainsbury's to pick up some food weighing scales, and came back. So I have got things to do. I'll have you know.
Yeah. Anyway. If you could like the stream while you're in here as well, subscribe if you haven't already, and get in as well. So we'll start off. There's only one place to start, and it's Birmingham City 4, Cambridge 0. I'm surprised that the Cambridge players haven't drowned because they sat that deep into their own half to allow Birmingham to play. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work. Birmingham City had just under 76% of the play. They had 24 shots to 2, 12 on target to 0. And yet again, another side going to St Andrews, sitting in, and it not working. When you go to St Andrews and you play football, it doesn't work. When you go to St Andrews, have a go, it doesn't work. When you go to St Andrews and, well, hope for the best, it often doesn't work. A few clubs this year have got points there. I think they've drawn 3 times there. And Reading, Northampton, who was the other one?
At home?
Yeah, I think they've drawn 3 at home. Northampton's 1.
Yeah.
Can you name me the other one?
Oh, well, yeah, Reading, you said on the opening day.
Reading, Northampton, there's another one, I think.
Is there?
Yeah, there's another. There's 3 draws. Come on, Jakey. Blackpool were the other one, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 29th of December.
I did know that.
Did you? Well, you didn't get it, did you? You didn't get it.
But no, but I knew the scoreline, didn't I?
Yeah, a superb performance. Jay Stansfield scoring from the penalty spot. Kieran Dowell and Luke Harris both getting the first goals of the season, and a Bennett own goal. 22,000 inside the stadium for this one on a Tuesday night in League One is quite remarkable when you think about it. Some stats: Cambridge United have the lowest points away from home in League One this year with 7, winning just once, considering 33 times across 16 matches. And Cambridge have also just won 1 in their last 12, or 2 wins in 17, drawing 7, losing 9. Is a big task ahead for the U's, you would say, with sides around them picking up points of late. Burton Albion picking up 12 from the last 6. Crawley picking up 6 from the last 4. Shrewsbury Town improving under Gareth Ainsworth, winning 3, drawing 1, and losing 2 in the last thingy. In the last 6 games as well. Bristol Rovers even improving, picking up 10 points in the last 6. They are now 7 points adrift, just winning 5 times this year. On to Birmingham, though. They've won 20 matches, scored 50 times this season, and have only conceded 19 times. They've taken 36 points out of 42 at home, have 66 points. Jay Stansfield and Alfie May both have 5 goal contributions this season as well. An unbelievable win at home. 16 home matches unbeaten. The best period they've had since 2011-12 season, between the months of August and February. Good to see Luke Harris and Kieran Dowell getting on the score sheet as well. And this is Birmingham's best period in a season, in a singular season, since 1995, all going back to another season, carrying on to another season, with 1997, where they won 11, drew 3. 37 points away from the record to tie with 54 points remaining. They're now 11 points clear of third place with a game in hand. The question is, where do you want the title? When's it going to be won?
I think they might win it against us. And we go there middle of March. Do you reckon there's a chance they might win the league by then?
I might have to get a ticket for that.
I genuinely have a feeling they might do that.
Be nice to see some cup silverware involving Lincoln.
How many trophies have Fleetwood won in the last 8 years? Question. How many trophies have you seen Fleetwood lift in the last 8 years?
Yeah, but we won we sold out Blackpool at home trophy.
Oh, of course, the most prestigious one in all, except.
Oh no, but we would have won one last year because we would have won League One this year if Boston didn't get sent off and Alex Mitchell didn't get flagged for offside. If they didn't count, it would have unfairly got relegated on that basis. Yeah.
Well, we've won 3 trophies in the last 8 years, so not major honours, but still trophies nonetheless. Yeah. Look, this was just Birmingham back at their best, weren't they? Cambridge putting in one of the most abject performances that I have ever seen from a team ever last night. They were dross, they were awful, and Birmingham, quite frankly, did not have to get out of second gear. I mean, I think they get let on their way slightly with a soft penalty, which obviously Stansfield converts. Liam Bennett finds his own net outstandingly. It's a great finish. Kieran Dowell has added so much to that midfield already. I mean, I would argue that he was a championship player when he signed for them. Having watched him for Derby and Forest and Wigan and Norwich and the like, he just comes in and adds a little bit of creativity to that midfield with Paik and Awata, who just stop anything and everything that comes in their way. But I feel like Kieran Dowell adds that really good bit of balance, Ben, to that midfield, especially with Anderson and Williamson as well. So, yeah, good night for Birmingham. Didn't have to get out of third gear, but still, I don't think Cambridge really got into the Birmingham half on many occasions, which is not very surprising. But, I mean, they're just outstanding, Ben. I think are they on par for like 100? They're on course to break the league record. I think
they were on course for 107 points on PPD before yesterday. They're on for about 108 right now. They're currently averaging 2.3.
And the record's what? 106 from Wolves, is it? Wolves at 106? 103.
Reading got 106 in the Championship. 103.
So they're one thing I did want to ask you, Ben, and before...
That is for as many... They've got every £1 million they spent, they got a point. Some people are so salty with that. Like, for me, they are so well... Like, you see clubs at this level spend loads of money. You do, right?
You do.
Not to this level, don't get me wrong, but they've created a team now to go up next year. Like, like when Wrexham did it in the non-league, where FFP don't count stupidly.
It don't count in League One either.
Yeah, well, not exactly, don't League One. But you're creating a team to go up. Like Ipswich, there's a great question here about club surviving this year. I'm like a granddad. I need to find it.
Is it on from Kevin?
3 day you are. A really good question from Kevin. The 3 promoted sides in the champ purely want to survive this season. You know, when you look at Portsmouth, they wanted to just survive. Oxford just wanted to survive in that factor as well. Who was the other one that went up last year, Jakey?
Portsmouth.
Yeah, I said them. Who came
Derby
second?
and Oxford.
Derby County. There you go, because you had an agenda against them last year.
They'll stay up now.
Yeah.
They'll stay up.
And I think that even Ipswich, when they went up a few years ago, they didn't have a. Our speaking Ipswich fans, they were just thinking, do you think we'll get to the point? I got asked by Colin Plum, Plum by name, Plum by nature, as Tony would say. That's exactly what he would say when he asked this question. He asked me, honestly, he goes, do you think we can get into the playoffs next year? Well, I think you'll finish mid-table. I'd take that, but I think we can get into the playoffs. I didn't think they had a squad. Like Luton, I thought momentum carried them. Well, Blues have got better quality and as much momentum, more momentum, in fact.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That this side, I think, if this side went into the Championship now, I think it finishes in the top 12 minimum.
Yeah, and the difference is, Ben, between Birmingham and all the clubs that we've mentioned previously on this show, the likes of Wednesday, Sunderland, Derby County, big clubs that have played in League One, and we've covered and benefited off the views. So thank you very much, big clubs, for coming in.
Thanks, Birmingham.
Thanks, Birmingham. This is why we
drop us a like, because we are short. We're four subscribers away from 16,400. So if you could just subscribe.
What I think the difference was that Birmingham didn't come down a mess. And obviously, I think even before they had ambition, you got to think, Ben, the year they got relegated, when they got rid of John Eustace, they were in the playoffs in the Championship.
Yeah, they got 50 points. They got 50 points. They won 10 games at home. They got relegated, winning on the last day. But I think that's the best thing that's ever happened to them.
Yeah, I think the new ownership coming in was the best thing that's ever happened to Blues.
Yeah.
Because they weren't in a mess when they came down. They were financially sorted. They knew they had money behind them to spend, and they did that. I mean, I've had the conversation with Joe Neves today, saying that maybe they could have spent. I think Birmingham City could have spent 5 million and still got promoted this year. I felt that and I'm not the only person that thought this. Maybe from the outside point of view, it looked a little bit excessive what they were doing, but what they were doing was building for the future, weren't they? They were building so that they could be competitive at Championship level. I agree with you that this team could get the top 12 in the league above. The difference between Ipswich that year and what I think Birmingham are this year, and it's no slouch on Chris Davis, but Kieran McKenna is a special head coach. Like, he is special. Chris Davis is a really good head coach.
Yeah,
I think he could become as good as Kieran McKenna, but Kieran McKenna was just outstanding.
Chris Davis is a great coach.
He's a fantastic, and I don't want to say that I'm not slighting him any difference, but Ipswich went up again because of Kieran McKenna.
Yeah,
can Birmingham City get promoted? If Birmingham City go up next season into the Premier League, will it be because of Chris Davis solely, like it was for Kieran McKenna? No, it would be because they've not only spent the money, but they're well coached as well. It's a mixture. So, yeah, look, this Birmingham, I mean, you saw it last night. They were outstanding, like just in possession, completely swarmed Cambridge alive, couldn't get out their own half. The only sort of positive for a Cambridge point of view last night was that they saved a penalty. The Nathan Bishop saved the penalty. That was it. That's all they had.
The first time somebody has missed a penalty at that end for Birmingham City since Clayton Donaldson in 2016, by the way. Little stat for you.
Do you want to tell you someone else who scored a penalty in front of that end this season? My goat, Jovan Wakama. What a bloke.
I do think how they've come down to this level, it is quite frankly, brilliant. And they've come down with fresh ideas. And what I like about it is you look at the big names. I know they brought a lot in this summer. There's been no one really sniffing around the players. And that's not because they're good players, because they know, well, Haken and Water, they're out of price range for a lot of clubs in January. They're not going to come anywhere near Stansfield. They're recruiting well. I think the biggest thing I would do for Birmingham City, the first thing I would do in the summer, one of the first things, before you sign anyone else, I said this on my TikTok before, get Ben Davis permanently. Ben Davis, I'm telling you this now, mate, is phenomenal. Ben
Can I ask
Davies,
you while we're
because
on the
he's just let me
subject
talk
of
about
Birmingham?
because I love this man because
There we go. Ex-Fleetwood.
no, yeah, he is excellent. We had him on loan, and we signed him on New Year's Day 2017, right? And this season is the you know when you went 21, 22 for you, how that was for you. This is my season for Fleetwood. I remember it was my third proper year of remembering football to a decent level. We signed him on loan, left-footed, commands, comes out, can cover left back when Cochrane goes on his adventures up the pitch. He fits in the gaps. So good on the ball at this level. He is a really good. He was so good for Preston North End. He really was. For me, I think he over 100 appearances for them. He went to Liverpool. It didn't work out. Went to Sheffield United. He's a phenomenal player. And get him in on a permanent, then add your players. Keep this squad together. There will be players that have to go that have been a bit part player. Maybe let go 5 or 6, but then bring players into the football club.
My question to you was, Ben, is we're clearly talking about a club that are trying to get promoted back to back. How many of that 11 that started last night? So I'll run you through it just to be fair. Allsop, Laird, Clara, Davis, Cochrane, Iwata, Paik, Dowell, Williamson, Anderson, and Stansfield.
Okay.
How many of them do you think could make the step
top
up?
end championship now?
Yeah, I'll run you through the ones that I think.
No, I'll tell you what. Let's do it together.
Okay.
Allsop, no.
No. He's a good champ keeper, but he's not a top 6.
I think he's a decent backup. I keep him number 2.
Ethan Laird, I think, can.
I think Ethan Laird has been a lot better this season and has probably, with Keshi Anderson, been their most improved player. So, like I said, with some of our players at Fleetwood, the level is... So, Ethan Laird is here. The level last year was probably about there. The level's come down to about there, and Ethan Laird's gone up. So Ethan Laird has improved as the level has gone down. I think that he's a solid right back, but I think you could have a little bit better there. But he's been better this year.
Christoph Clara, absolutely.
Ben Davies signed permanently.
Yeah. Cochrane,
I agree with that.
I think he's one of their best players. He is unbelievable.
I think Iwata and Paik. I think
they need to be sold to League One and League Two, Nappers.
Yeah, League One, League Two. Tell you what, let's be
one
fair.
To Fleetwood and one to League.
I'll have Paik. You can have Iwata.
I'm happy with that.
Because I think Paik's Paik back in the side yesterday. Look, and the good thing is yesterday, they finally, in a scoreline, in a league, which have battered someone. That has been so overdue for so long. And can I just say, who said it was going to be 4-0? Who said it's going to be 4-0?
Yeah.
Ooh. And you went 3-0. Could never be me.
Can I carry on?
Yeah.
Kieran Dowell, I think, could do it. He's done.
I think he's a solid top 10, top 12. Can easily.
Keshi Anderson, I don't think.
I think Keshi Anderson, you'd keep around the football club as a squad player. I think he's good 20 times a season. I think that I'm not thinking they're horrific. I just think there's better.
He's a good player. It was mint for Blackpool when they were first went up, wasn't he? He was mint.
He was. I think that in League One, he's a League One footballer.
I will be controversial. I think they could improve on Willem Williamson.
I think that Willem Williamson, he struggled with injuries. I think that he's a fantastic footballer, and I would give him the opportunity to flourish. Yeah,
I think they could probably, and then Stansfield, obviously, I think he could play in the Premier League at the minute.
He's not good
enough.
Anyway,
we've just chatted for 20 minutes about
Birmingham.
Right, can we talk about Cambridge, Ben? Because as good as Birmingham were last night, Cambridge were tepid. They were awful. And Gary Monk, I don't know how. I speak to the Under the Abbey stand a few times, and they are now firmly Gary Monk out. He is worrying them. They feel like he's dragging them down. You look at the team last night, really negative. They set up negatively. They put so many men behind the ball. He's starting to get a little bit delulu, I think, Gary Monk, in what he says in press conferences.
He's won 9 games in 48, mate. He's lost 26 games of football.
Not good enough.
Look at Birmingham. He went there. He was, 19 wins, 20 draws, 20.
You can't help yourself talk about Birmingham, can you?
No, no,
Right, help
no.
yourself.
But I just think that it's where from was Rex Birmingham. I look at them and I think they've gone from Neil Harris, in the space of they've just gone through managers too quickly, and
Mm.
I just think that they are weak, and I finally feel the league's caught up with them. Can I really be honest with you? Do you think anyone else that Cambridge could realistically get would keep the squad up? It's a
I,
Kachunga and Loftus a front two. It's got bits of quality, but it's a weak League One squad. Let's be
yeah.
honest about it. You look, Burton shouldn't have been down there. They have a better squad. Crawley have a togetherness of coming up last year and the fight against all the odds, a new squad put together. Probably them. Yes, I get that. Shrewsbury have got a good manager, and there's actually some League One pedigree in there, I do believe. Peterborough have got quality. Bristol Rovers have more quality. I think they are probably the worst squad in the division.
Yeah, I
And the
mean,
bottom of the league.
what I would say is, I would think if they had Neil Harris in charge, I think Cambridge would have stayed up. If they could have kept, but obviously he went back to Millwall under conspicuous circumstances. But I think the issue is the director of football. A lot of Cambridge fans are after Ben Strang. His recruit. You look at the recruitment, Ben. Like even this window, you just thought go and sign some League One experience, and they go and sign Ben Stevenson, who played hardly any minutes for Portsmouth last season. They signed a Song, who played literally no minutes for Rotherham this season. They signed Don Ballard, who's had a couple of loan spells but never been the main man up front, particularly. So I just don't think the director of football helped Gary Monk. And I'm not saying Gary Monk in or that he's good enough. I think they need to reevaluate in the summer where they go. If whatever league whatever league Cambridge are in next year, most likely going to be League Two. I would be looking to give a young head coach the reins and say,
I'd be careful with that, though.
rebuild.
I think that it might take League Two is a very difficult league.
Well, we've seen it with Carlisle, haven't we? It's quite easy to go back. It's quite easy to go back.
Scunthorpe did it. Forest Green Rovers did it.
Yeah.
Carlisle. That's my League Two show, but they are in doggy do. Let's move on.
Yes, please.
Farley Stevenage, what's happening? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
As Jake Nichols, his cash out value might be going up to a 10. A massive win for Crawley, who before this, Crawley had failed to win any of their last 6 league games against Stevenage. And Stevenage had a really good run against newly promoted sides, winning their last 4 against sides that have come up from League Two. A big win for the Reds at home. Before this game, no side in League One had earned fewer points at home than Crawley, who had 12, now up to 15, which is a massive result as well. And they only had 2 wins in their last 11 home league fixtures before this one, drawing 3, losing 6. You got that one, yeah. Burton Albion, 13 are the only side in the division to have lower points in them. And also League One side, Blackpool, on 15 points as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to raise my voice there. I genuinely didn't. Their longest ever serving winning run.
I thought you were their longest ever serving fan, Ben Knapman.
Yeah. Tell you what, right? I had a Blackpool fan come up to me in my place of work today, and they asked someone, they went, "Is that who I think it is? Who is I recognise him?" He went, "Oh, yeah, it's Ben." He goes, "Oh, yeah." And anyway, I went over, took him what he'd ordered. "Oh, biggest Blackpool fan I know. We've all seen the picture." I'm like, "Oh, for God's sake." I'm like, "Enjoy your burger, mate. See you later," and walked off. Again, this is the first time that Stevenage lost back-to-back games for the first time since October in a run of 3, where they lost to Cambridge, Rotherham and Bolton. Great result for Crawley. Massive result, in fact, because they were getting swamped down there a little bit, weren't they? 27 points. This bottom 4, bar Cambridge, is constantly moving. It's very close now. You look at Exeter, you look at sides like that on 32 points, you look miles off it. Now only 5 points adrift.
Yeah, I watched the second half of this last night, Ben, because I was sort of, as you may know, do you know I've got a bet on with Farley? Do you know?
Yes, you got a £20 bet.
Yeah, me and Farley got a bet to see who finishes higher, and this was one of their games in hand. And Farley was rubbing his hands together, going, "Yeah, well, our first game against Crawley, so that'd be a nice, easy win." Well, Crawley, yeah, I thought they were outstanding last night. Like I say, I only watched the second half, but to be fair, the first half it was 0-0 at half time, so I picked a good time to turn on. I thought,
you should have been watching Fleetwood, mate.
well, actually, the first half I was watching LEYTON ORIENT MANSFIELD just ahead of the weekend because they are our next 2 games, and I shouldn't have done because I'm now absolutely terrified for Saturday. Anyway, yeah, look, Crawley deserved this, I think, based on that second half. They got in front, were immediately pegged back. Brandon Hanlon scoring his first goal for Stevenage. Dan Kemp, another goal contribution. He's been outstanding so far this season and has proved to be a really astute signing for Stevenage. But it was the subs that changed this game, Ben, for me. It was your old boy, Junior Katerna, came on, looked outstanding on the right-hand side. Kamari Doyle, who I praised highly before in here when he was at Exeter, he looked really good. And Tyrese John Jules, and they played him with Russian Hepburn Murphy up front, and you've seen him before at Swindon, and you'd have seen him at Crawley. The bloke's absolutely rapid, and like Piergianni and Sweeney, they got them on a booking like fairly quickly, and they just realised that they couldn't keep up with any of them. They were just far too quick, and they had chances. Murphy Cooper made a really good save. They put one wide. Hepburn Murphy dinked one wide of the post as well. To be fair, Crawley deserved to win. I don't think any Stevenage fan can argue the case. There were 2 penalty shouts in the game, one for Stevenage, which I think would have been extremely harsh on the Crawley defender. But there was one for Crawley as well, where Eli King does have his arm out. So potentially it could have been worse for Stevenage. But like you say, Ben, with Burton not playing, with Cambridge losing, with Peterborough losing, Bristol Rovers dropping points, that feels like a really big win for Crawley. If they'd have lost that last night, sat on 25 points, they would have felt a little bit adrift at the bottom of the teams outside the bottom 4. So for them to win that and play well in doing so, I think that will give Rob Elliott, and I think it will give the players a huge amount of confidence because, you know, if we're saying if Crawley win their game in hand, Ben, they'll be on the same points as Peterborough. And
do you think Peterborough are in trouble?
Yes.
Because a little stat on Peterborough, they've lost 10 of the last 11 away from home.
Yeah,
which we're going to come to in a minute.
Hopefully this weekend they can pull out a win.
What's big for Crawley, mate, is 10 of their last 17 matches are at home. And you labelled at the start of the year, you said these exact words. Nobody will want to go to the Broadfield. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be
guess what? Idiot's done it twice.
And then, unfortunately, nearly lost a lift home in the process.
Not on the second time. The second time was great.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
We won. So, yeah.
So we just put a great comment. We are 4 subscribers away from 16.4. Come on. If you haven't already, just press subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Like the stream as well. I don't know how many likes we're on, but make sure you drop a like on the stream. We're 2 games in, and we are...
20 minutes of it was talking about Birmingham City. Well,
exactly.
Wipe your nose, Ben. Just wipe your nose.
Exactly. Sorry, blue nose. Charlton 2, Peterborough 1. Before this one, Charlton had failed to win any of their last 13 league games against the Posh, drawing 5, losing 8, with the Addicts only enduring a winless run outside the top tier against a single opponent in a 14 match spell between against Millwall in 1922 and 1930. Jake would have been around, a young spring then, won't you, mate? You'd have been a little toddler back then. However, what he said before, he messaged somebody that we're very close to on this podcast, Chris from the Fan Zone podcast, about doing a project together. Jake's words to Chris, who is probably early 30s, right?
Chris?
Yeah, he's early 30s.
Right, you don't need to be kind to him. He said to me, he's double my age.
103? So, anyway, he goes, Jake said I should Snapchat you. I went, Jake said what? I went, this man is 27 this year, and he's acting like a 16-year-old. So, don't act like a 16-year-old, Jake. Please, whatever you do.
I was going to say, that's like pot, kettle, black, nappers, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I said to him was, he said, do you guys communicate by text? And I said, well, no, I normally Snapchat nappers because that's the way that we communicate. Is it not?
Yeah, well, it is, but I don't really go on that app, to be fair. Anyway, after this one, Peterborough have lost 10 of their last 11 league away games. They drew the other one. Also, they've conceded 2+ in 10 of those 11 matches. Only Crawley and Cambridge on 33 and 32 have conceded more away goals than the Posh on 31. I'm worried. People say this Posh side won't go down because of the quality that's in it. And you look at that starting 11 yesterday for Peterborough, and I know that there is talent missing in it, and I totally get that the main man Poku isn't near it. It's Jones is okay, he's solid. Lindigan's unproven at this level. Cipriano and Collins have done all right. CJ has come from the league below. Hughes couldn't get into another football club at this level as well. Fernandez is erratic. He got sent off the other day. Teo Adoon's solid, but is he phenomenal at this level? Is he going to take him to the next step? Do you think he will?
Yeah.
Well,
do you remember when he was playing with Fleetwood on the opening day of the season, just like this?
It wasn't the opening day of the season anyway, so more
First home game though.
First home game of the season, yeah, and still Gill Cup final. By the way, if you're ever wondering if me and Jake are like this off camera, the answer is yes.
It's worse.
And 5 times worse, yeah. They're on 30 points. They've taken 9 points from the last 15 games. That's terrible. They conceded 57 goals this year. I can't see a way out for them. It's so poor.
I can see a way out for them.
They don't have warriors. They don't have warriors. Like, they're going to wait Stevenage at the weekend, right? They'll probably win that, I'm saying this. But Stevenage keep clean sheets. Stevenage are solid. And Peterborough, I'd love them to stay up because Darren McAnthony is a great owner. He speaks well. He's done very well at that football club. But unfortunately, you lose the core of your team. The recruitment is nowhere near up to it. You drain the life out of the team. You're going to eventually have a really, really bad season like Oxford did a few years ago. Maybe this is the year they stay up and the next year they go up. Oxford maybe take some inspiration from Oxford. We'll go to Tottenham in a minute, but Posh I'm very concerned for.
Yeah, I think that the only shining light for Peterborough, Ben, is that Kwame Poku is due back soon. I think that is it, but it's going to be very difficult for Kwame Poku to win games on his own. Although at this level, Kwame Poku can do that because we've seen it for a number of years. So that's the one shining light. Peterborough, I am worried about them because if you watch them, Ben, they just don't know how to defend. They literally have no. I think I said it to you after we beat them the other week. I said that is the worst Peterborough United team I have ever seen, and you have to bear in mind I have such high standards of them because every year I've seen Peterborough United, not only have they got the better of us, but they're just always at the top end of the league. Whatever league Peterborough are in, bar the Championship, which they've struggled with, I just don't see. I just don't think that there's a worse Peterborough team. They are consistently conceding soft goals. I mean, the goals last night were awful. Set pieces. There's no spine. There's no leader. You think about when they had Mark Beavers or they have players that want to step up and play experienced players. Peterborough, we've said it so many times, but over the last 9 weeks, they just recruited too young. They just they lost
so
some really good players.
They don't know what's going on now.
They lost some really, really good players in the summer, but they were well compensated for that. They could have gone out and still recruited 5, 6, 7, whatever young players that they'll feel they could sell on and make money. But they can also bring in some of the ready-made, some of the people that are, they're more expensive than the young lads. Don't get me wrong, but someone that's been there and done it. Like, for example, Ben, I'm not saying this because just pure, but why could Peterborough not have gone and got someone like Alfie May? Like the money that they got, I'm not saying they could compete with Birmingham, but if take Birmingham out of the league, Peterborough could have gone and got someone like Alfie May to replace the likes of Johnson Clark Harris.
My God,
but they could have got someone in their prime with the money that they accrued over the summer for Edwards, for Burrows, etc. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know about you, Ben, but I listened to the Up the Poshcast, and they're absolutely seething. Like, they're absolutely seething that this team have got no backbone. The captain, Hector Cipriano, who was involved in a transfer saga of his own in the last month, he just doesn't want to be there, and you can tell there are players that just don't want to be there. and maybe they think they're too good for them. And the players that want to prove themselves, like your mate Keane Hayes, don't get a chance. Like the players like Chris Clark and the players like Keane Hayes, they're not getting a chance because they'd rather give minutes to someone like Malik Mothersill, who they think they'll sell on. But ultimately, they just went too young and too inexperienced, and you can tell that they just look like an under-18s team playing in a men's league. That's what
Yeah,
they look like.
they do. And for me, you recruit like that, you produce gems. There's going to be eventually where you don't pick up gems. I think you pick one in 5, 1 in 6. People have eventually been found out where they picked a few, not as ready right now, where it's short-term pain for long-term gain. I totally get that. There's a lot of X factor in there. There's no warriors. There's no soldiers. There's no backbone. And you look at the good sides at this level, and you look at what Charlton have got in their team: Doherty, a Gillespie, a Lloyd Jones. They're not fancy. They don't look, and you think, wow, there's something about them. There's something, a bit of core, a bit of mental stamina, and can get through games. You then go and look at the other teams at this level. Birmingham have got Pakey, Water, Ben Davis, Clara. You think, tell you what, not a team of thugs, but a team of, I tell you what, I won't fancy my chances going up for an header. I feel intimidated coming here. Wycombe Wanderers have got loads in their team, and that's what they've been so good at. The likes of Caleb Taylor in that team as well. You even go to Wrexham, experienced team. You need experience at this level. You cannot rely on young players, because when it goes well, they'll flourish. It's all on instinct. When it goes wrong, there's nobody picking them up. And Ferguson, I think, is knowing that, and he's feeling the pressure. I think that he'll get to the end of the year. I don't think McAntony will change it, because I think he's done it before and he regrets it. But I won't say there's a fresh voice needed, because I think that this squad is struggling. It needs experience. It's quite clear to see that Darren McAntony doesn't make a lot of the decisions at that football club in terms of recruitment. It's nailed on. We have to buy to sell on, and that's their model.
I think
he will have a say.
Sets the parameters. I think
he'll have a say who he wants, but I think he'll want more experience in that team. I think he will.
I don't disagree with that.
I think that they had last year against Fleetwood, they had an average squad age of 23.16. The oldest player in their squad was 26 last year. That's great when it's going well.
Was that Josh Knight by chance?
It was, yeah. Ex-Leicester. Yeah. And Will said that's a great question. I don't think they have. I watched Shrewsbury back, the extended highlights of the game against Reading. There's blocks going in. The blocks, in one of the most recent home games, where they got over the line, and Ainsworth is talking about it. They've got Total NCR, Jamel Blackman, John Marquis, Taylor Perry. I'm looking at it going, they've got a few players that get you off your seat, and then warriors that are ready to fight. Burton Albion have become that. John Daddy before. So where they've got someone that you think, what? We're going to go to Burton. We're going to go to Shrewsbury. It's going to be physical, hard to play against. Peterborough, you feel like they might have better players, but you think they play football. Fleetwood have struggled all season against sides that scrap and fight for everything.
Mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, when we played MK Dons, when we played Walsall, it's like, easy. You play football, we'll scrap, take the ball off, you win. No problem with that. And that's why Fleetwood struggle against poorer sides. I think it's everything. On to Charlton, though, because I think a massive mention for them, who have been, quite frankly, phenomenal. They lost away at Rotherham. What's followed is 5 wins and a draw in there. 50 points now. Nathan Jones was labelled to be getting sacked at the start of December after that 5-0 win away at Northampton. Quite frankly, brilliant. They've gone for 14 wins now. 8 draws, 8 defeats. Scoring goals, going to the late. Matty Gordon getting another goal yesterday. Macaulay Gillespie with a big goal. Superb victory. Nathan Jones, Luton fans said, give him 18 months to 2.5 years. He'll work his trade. He came in around about this time last year, kept them up, lots of draws. The difference is this year, that game ends 1-1 last year. They win the game of football. So many games this year, Charlton have won, whereas last year they did draw 1-1, 0-0, 2-2. They are finding a way to win.
Yeah, they are. I agree. The one thing that does worry me with Charlton, though, Ben, is their inconsistency. They'll go and win 5-6 games on the trot, but this team are very capable and have gone on long and beat runs where they've not
lost
won.
1 in 14.
Yes.
I get that.
But I'm saying that they can also go winless in a huge, and they have done so far under Nathan Jones, have they not?
Yeah, they have, but I think
That's
that
the inconsistency that I don't like
to know
about
about
this.
inconsistency after losing 1 in 14 is a
Yeah,
little.
no, I'm not saying
You're
they're
like saying
inconsistent
that
at the
about Leighton
minute.
Orient when they lost.
No, what I'm saying is, Ben, that I get that they're on a really good run at the moment, but they can be inconsistent. That is my issue with this Charlton team. They played well last night. I mean, the XG indicates that they probably should have scored more, and the game should have maybe looked a bit easier than having to score a goal in the 89th minute to win it. But under Nathan Jones, like you say, you have to listen to the Luton fans because they've been there and done it with him. They know how he works. They know how what it takes. And I thought they were good. Alex Gilbert, he's proved to be a really good signing on loan from Middlesbrough. He set up the winning goal yesterday. Yeah, they're a good side in a good spot at the minute. I always feel that when you are winning games, the players look better. They look more consistent. And there you are. This is what Charlton are doing at the moment. They remind me a little bit, Ben, on their current guys of what we did last year. They do at the minute. They
Yeah.
don't look.
Did you go unbeaten last year? Did you?
16 games, yeah.
10 wins, 6 draws. Yeah, started off with 3 draws, then won 10 out the next 13.
Yeah.
Went to 8 well, scored, 17 in 3.
Wait, mate. It's all happening again. The scripts are lining. If you want to believe some, not me. But yeah, no, a good with. I agree with you. The fact that they'd have drawn this game last year, absolutely.
100%. In typical Cosvlog style, 42 minutes in, 3 games covered on this channel as well.
It's not going any quicker because we're talking about Leyton Orient now.
What? I tell you what, I watched Richie Wellens' interview, and his interviews are class. When they lose, he's so honest and he'll break it down. On the game on Saturday, he's just, how good's Guardiola? I just had 10 minutes with him. I didn't want him to go home. Could not stay a bit longer. And it's like upbeat. And it will be upbeat when you're winning games of football, and it can be a little bit down when it's not going so well. It wasn't going so well in this first part of the season for them, but it didn't start well when they first came in. When Leyton Orient first came into this division, they were struggling, and that was quite a fact that they'd only won 3 or 4 of the first 15 games. I think they won 4 of the first 15 games.
Well, they should have won 5.
They should have won 5.
They should have won 5.
Leyton Orient, to be fair, going back to the period against Mansfield, I've only lost 3 of the last 20 Football League games against Mansfield. And we should have a new segment on this channel, monthly speed cameras of the month. Flash! Mansfield Town. If you're in a relegation dogfight or needing 3 points, just hire Mansfield Town because they give them points to Shrewsbury, Crawley, Northampton, Leyton Orient. 6 defeats on the spin now. Like you say, patch about Charlton. They lost 5 on the spin early season, followed up with a good run. 6 defeats. I think that Nigel Clough needs to make Mansfield harder to beat.
Don't say that now. Can we wait? Can we do all that after Tuesday next week?
Harder to beat, harder to break down. It won't be nice football to watch. A bit like what Pete Wiles did at Fleetwood. It's horrible to watch, but it's been effective. Mansfield Town have just won 2 of their last 12 Football League away games against Leyton Orient, and have just won 2 in the last 10 this season. Mansfield Town always win away. It doesn't happen at the moment. Leyton Orient won 9 out of 11, keeping 10 clean sheets, only conceding twice in that period. They conceded twice away at Exeter and once over to Stockport. So conceded more goals in those 2 games than they did in the previous 11. Standards were slipping. Unbelievable against Man City at the weekend as well. But to wait to come back to that, and later, Richie Wellens came out and said he was happy there was no hangover, and this is the best squad he's had since being at Leyton Orient. And we touched on this in the transfer video. If you haven't watched it, go and do so. About they had to back him now because in the next 12 to 18 months, I can see a world where Richie Wellens is approached by a top championship football club or top end League One, and he moves on. I think there's a real possibility that Leyton Orient gets into the playoffs this year. They're on a great run, a great way to respond, just outside the playoffs. 47 points, dare to dream.
This match was essentially a training exercise, Ben. Of what I saw of it. And I watched, it was good actually. I watched the second half of Crawley Stevenage where all the goals came, and I watched the first half of Leyton Orient Mansfield. And like I said to you, I wish I never bothered because I've got myself terrified for what they might do to us on Saturday. The goals are all fantastic. Great Great corner in from Ethan Galbraith for the first one. Jordan Brown just gambles at the near post. The second goal's outstanding. Wendell Williams, I think it's his first start for Leyton Orient, and he took his goal really well. He had one shortly after as well, which I think he dragged just wide. But he looks really good down that left-hand side. Wearing the number 9 shirt, Ben. I'm not sure how I feel about a wide player wearing the number 9 shirt, but it worked for him. It worked for him last night. Looked really good, and he's played primarily as a wing back for Bolton when he was there. But it was always clear that his attacking output was far better than his defensive output. And playing as a winger under Richie Wellens is just a stroke of genius. With Mark Handay on the other side, you think about it, they've got Dan Adji that can come on and play that position as well. Both, all very good players. The third goal was outstanding. I mean, Anne-Marie's pointed him out there at Ethan Galbraith. What I really find interesting about Ethan Galbraith...
Got a good eye for talents.
Yeah, correct. Including a nephew.
We're saying that I'm brilliant and you're not next, then...
I don't think she'll be doing that. I mean, Ethan Galbraith, to me, is like the lower league Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ben. He is that good. I mean, you watch the way that Orient play. He plays it right.
Galbraith can defend.
Well, partly, I think that's an area where you can maybe get it late in Orient, but we can come to that another time. But when they're in possession, and I noticed this more last night because it's the first time I watched them in a long time since we beat them in October or September. I can't remember what it was. Their fullbacks are they just step into midfield, and you've got your number 10 and Jamie Donnelly stepping in, and the three behind the striker all rotate. And to be fair, I thought they were outstanding. It looked like a training exercise. Mansfield had no look. It looked like Aiden. When sometimes when you play in Sunday League, Ben, I don't know if you played Sunday League before, haven't you?
Yeah, as a kid.
When a team are getting absolutely pummeled, but
normally I was on that team, mate.
7-8-0.
Yeah,
and one of the players with an ego so big just goes, "Do you know what? I'm just going to pretend I'm injured so I don't have to play."
Yeah,
that was Aiden Flint last night. He did not look injured when he went off. The Orient were outstanding yesterday. They were a team full of confidence, and like we say with Richie Wellens, such a good progressive manager. Mansfield, Ben, like you mentioned, go on.
No, go on, carry on.
I said Mansfield. I was just going to say Mansfield. You're worried about them. You are seriously worried about.
I think they'll stay up. They'll stay up.
Yeah, I think they've done enough work in the early season.
I think they've got to that point where, look, it's so red. I thought that it was a tomato. Mansfield's form is LLLLLL.
Are they on the beach? Do you think?
I think so. And Cloughie won't stand for that. And look, if they had this points tally at the end of, at the start of the year, they'd have taken it. But it's poor. Something's got to change. Got to go back to basics. Got to find a result from somewhere. If it comes off somebody's backside, they go to Blackpool.
I'm intrigued to see what happens in the summer with them, Ben, because obviously Cloughie's out of contract.
The very experienced side as well. It's probably Peterborough's here, Mansfield's here, and you want a middle ground. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, well, I'm intrigued to see what happens with Mansfield because Cloughie's out of contract and he's publicly said that he's not signing it. So I wonder where Mansfield are going to. I think he just wants to. I think his wife wants him to retire.
Really?
And you can't blame. I mean, he's got.
I think that he feels like he's done in football as well.
I think when he joined Mansfield, his job was to get them promoted, and eventually he's been able to do that after 4 years. But he just looks tired on the touchline. I watched. They did a few. That's a massive blow for them. That's a shame. He just looks worn out. He just looks exhausted. And I wonder if they'll go internally because Mansfield are that sort of club. I wouldn't be surprised to see someone maybe like I think his name's John Dempster, the academy manager, get it. Someone that I know quite well. Unfortunately, so I played cricket with his lad. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Quinn gets it. I really wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Quinn gets it because he wants to go into coaching and potentially it's the right opportunity. But I don't know. I do wonder if they'll go for an experienced head coach or whether they'll try and roll the dice like we've seen many clubs do. With
I think Mark Kennedy's established League One
Mark
manager.
Kennedy, yeah, perfect manager for them. I agree.
Yeah.
They'll get 46 points, Ben, because they'll draw every game 1-1.
Yeah, and go 1-up in every single game.
Yeah.
But the one away at Ipswich, remember that?
Well, Ipswich won't be in the league, so
In the FA Cup third round.
oh, okay. And the one away at Plymouth.
Yeah, exactly. Reading 1, Shrewsbury 1. A vital point away from Shrewsbury. Could have been so much more. John Marquis has now missed his last 3 spot kicks against Lincoln, Wrexham and Reading.
Thanks, John.
What could have been? Reading have won just 2 of their last 9 league games against Shrewsbury, actually. I remember the home game for Shrewsbury last year that ended, I think, 3-2. Reading were 2-0 up in that one. Shrewsbury came down. Yeah, it was a last late drama. Shrewsbury have now picked up 19 points in 15 games under Gareth Ainsworth over the course of the season. You're looking at around 58 points. If they average that for their remaining 16 games of the season, they'd have between 46 and 48 points. That could be, switchy bum time at the end of the season as well.
Switchy bum time.
Yeah, switches.
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah, a good point for the Shrews, as only Wrexham and Birmingham have won more home games than the Royals. Stockport are tied with them on 10. Wrexham have won 12. Birmingham have won 11. Big point away. Taylor Perry with an excellent goal, I must say, as well. Unfortunate to go a goal down. I thought they were excellent from watching back. They had chances in the match as well. Jamal Blackman did make a couple of good saves. I thought they were the better side, looking at the statistics and watching the highlights back as well. They were 13 shots to 8, 4 shots on target to 2. 4 points away from Rotherham away from Mansfield is a very, very good return. It almost feels like, as well, it's a big point because to be 4 points behind Peterborough seems, it's a lot that. You win and you feel like we were not out of it. All of a sudden being 3 points behind, you feel, tell you what, we win and it's just goal difference then. It feels you're so much closer, the mindset of that 1 point. And Angels transformed that football club. And he's added life, he's added energy. And a lot of clubs in this league, we've just mentioned there's no life in Mansfield. It almost feels like they've been revitalised, there's life back in the room. There's a bit.
They've been baptised, and they're back.
Yeah, the soda has been changing the Pepsi Max flow. That's how it feels.
What I would say is we're about to lose a viewer from the Burton-on-Trent era region because we're about to talk about Gareth Ainsworth and how much we both love him. Hello, David. Yeah, they were outstanding.
Why doesn't he like him?
Yeah. He just doesn't like his bravado, I think. I don't think he likes his confidence because
if he was manager of Burton Albion,
he'd love him. He'd love him. He'd love
what
him.
a guy.
Wouldn't you, David? You'd love it. Oh no, I'd rather Gary Bowyer, he tells me. Okay.
Not boring bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's your ex-manager, Ben, so just keep your mouth.
He's a great man. Honestly, Gary Bowyer is a great manager.
He is.
Great man.
Gareth Ainsworth, though. You want to play for Gareth Ainsworth.
I want to play for him.
Yeah. Look, I thought they were unfortunate last night. More touches in the penalty area than Reading. More shots on target. The goal sort of came against the run of play a little bit from Wareham, but they got themselves back in it through Taylor Perry, who we know, and he scored away at Rotherham, Ben, in the win at the weekend. So that's 2-2 for him. Well, it was quite fortunate. But this one was much better. Shame for John Marquis because he's been quite dependable over the years from the spot. When I think about him taking pens for Portsmouth, he 9 times out of 10 he'd always bag it. So whether there's something going on, but you can tell now this group of Shrewsbury players are running for their manager. They are working for him. They are feeding into what Gareth Ainsworth wants to do. We saw it at QPR that the players didn't want to buy into what Gareth Ainsworth wanted, whereas this group have gone, do you know what, this is our best chance at survival, so we need to go with him, and they've been able to do that. They've played really well in most games that he's been in charge of. They're picking up points on a consistent basis. They're out now only 3 points behind Peterborough, and to be honest, Ben, if Peterborough United and Shrewsbury Town were 2 different trains, I wouldn't want to be stood in the way of Shrewsbury Town at the minute. They overpower. They know the dark arts. They're good at set pieces. They know they're good at the fine margins. And this Shrewsbury
Town,
games
frustrating as well.
Yeah, of course they are. They are. And the thing is, they've now got a centre forward in George Lloyd who's finding the net on a frequent basis. Taylor Perry's adding goals from midfield. You've got defenders in Feeney, and Ciala,
Mine like Fiends.
contributing, and all of a sudden it looks bright. That's now 7 wins in 30 games. This Shrewsbury team stand a chance, Ben. They really do.
I really agree with that. Where are we going to next, Jake?
Let me have a look.
1-1.
Oh yeah, Bristol Rovers. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Well, they got outplayed, but they scored in the last minute, so all of a sudden it looked great.
A big sucker punch for County, who
a swinkle punch, you could say.
A swinkle punch, yeah, I like that one. 90 plus, 9 plus 1. They're looking for 6 wins on the spin as well. Stockport County from I watched 10-minute match highlights actually, and it just felt like a battering. Target used to say there's been a mudder. Stockport County muddered Bristol Rovers yesterday. They had 5 shots on target. Will Collar came close. Alafe had a couple of chances. Watson had a couple of chances. I thought Jed Ward was superb in the Bristol Rovers goal. And before this one, Stockport County had won the last 2 away league out with as many in the previous 11 before that as well. A brilliant reaction for the home side after they won 9 and sorry, that was Leyton Orient. Sorry, I've got me Leyton Orient. Forget that. They've won. Forget that one as well. Bristol Rovers have won their last 4 Football League games against Stockport County before the one this season as well. So they had a decent record against County. A good point for Bristol Rovers. Calderon's doing decent there. In terms of 8 games, he's picked up 10 points, 3 wins, 1 draw, 4 defeats. I think that's 7 points in the last 9 at home. 32 points, 5 away from the danger zone. However, they're only 2 points off Wigan Athletic in 16th. How far would you take this relegation battle up to?
It's a really good question, Ben, because I think the thing that makes me think Wigan are okay is they've got games in hand.
Yeah, and look, they've just got to sign a League 2 captain as well, who's a very good player at this level. Haven't they?
Ben, you don't need to be bitter because it might happen in the summer.
It will happen in the summer.
So
I know it will.
Don't get big, because in 6 months people will clip that up and they'll go, "Oh well, he's a prat, isn't he?" Yeah, I'll tell you what the difference is, Ben. Well, I mean, to answer your question, I think it goes up to Northampton. I think it's the bottom. It's 4 of 8, really, isn't it? And to be honest, with how crazy the league is, it could be any of those. It could be any 4 of those 8 that go down. So it could be any combination. The difference for Bristol Rovers, Ben, is Bristol Rovers is the fact that they've got Matt Butcher, and he's been massive for them since coming in. I think that's 2 assists now in 2 games. It's a great header for the lad from Villa, Sid Swinkles off the post, but don't kid yourself, Ben. Stockport battered them.
No.
Way more shots on goal, way more on target, much more possession in the penalty in the goal scoring thirds. They were outstanding, and they were very unfortunate. They were, a brief moment from going 3rd in the league, Ben, and that's a massive achievement for Stockport if they're able to do that. It's a big point for Gas under Ignio Calderon. You can see they're starting to pick up a little bit of life. And look, it's a really difficult job going in mid-season and changing a philosophy and picking up a losing team and trying to carry them and keep them up in the league. But he's given a good fist of it. They didn't deserve the point last night, but they'll be very grateful that they've got it, and they'll be very grateful that Matt Butcher is a Gas player.
Yeah, 100% great signing. And the last of all, Blackpool 0, Rotherham 0. Blackpool have failed to win any of their last 13 league games against the Millers, drawing 4, losing 8. Drawing 5 now, in fact, as well. So it's a 4-1 victory in 1997.
I was born a year later.
Say again?
I was born a year later.
Yeah. Blackpool have drawn the last 7 matches at home, only winning twice in 13 matches this term at Bloomfield, but only losing twice this season at home. However, going back to the last season, the Seasiders have only lost 5 of their last 36 outings at Bloomers, winning 16, drawing 15, drawing 5. Any guesses the 5 games he lost, Jake?
At Bloomfield Road.
In the last season and a half, yeah. 3
Uh
last year, 2 this year.
oh. Who they lost? They lost to Northampton at home last season.
Yeah, 2-1 in December last year, yeah.
Who else have they lost? Who else has gone there? Who went?
This year, I think this year.
The Derby.
Yeah.
They don't win.
Yeah. Someone won there, I think 4-2 last year. Who scored loads of goals?
Stockport won there this year, 3-0.
Yeah, but last season,
who won 4-2 there?
They won twice there last year, one in the cup as well. In the
Peterborough.
Yeah. And one more. They always win away, can't win at home.
This season?
Yeah. It was when Blackpool had no Bruce in charge. This is the last game I think they lost at home. They lost to Peterborough 5-1 after this. Similar club to Lincoln in terms of this year, how they've done.
Well, they didn't lose to Mansfield.
No. Who's in your vicinity? There's Blackpool,
Stevenage.
Who's above?
Well, Wigan. No, they drew.
Begins with B.
Barnsley.
Yeah. Yes. Finally. A little stat for you. Blackpool last won at home 137 days ago. However, they haven't lost in that time.
Wilson Isidore. Come on.
What?
Sorry. Wilson Isidore's just scored and he's my captain on the football fantasy.
The only side in English Football League history to draw 7 successive league games are Crystal Palace in 1962, Southport in 1997, Crystal Palace again in February 1999, and Notts County in August 2006. Blackpool add to that with a 0-0 thrilling point at home to Rotherham. Season's over for both clubs.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. There's not. It's a 0-0. We did 20 minutes on. We did 20 minutes on Birmingham to cover for the fact that it was a 0-0. Both teams were rubbish. Both team seasons are over. Forget about it.
Right. Predictions.
No.
Yes.
We did them.
No, we need to look at how we did.
Oh, do you really think I've had time to look at to tell you how many points we got this week?
That's because I won.
Do you know that for a fact?
No.
There you are then. So shut up. We'll do a big reveal on the weekend. Questions.
Right, we're 2 subscribers away. 2 subscribers. Come on. If you could subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated.
Wilson Isidore. I love him. Ben.
If you could like the stream, that'd be appreciated.
They were 4-0 up.
I know. Think they'll stay up.
And Lucas Jensen's in goal. What?
Do you think they'll stay up?
No.
You think they'll go down?
I can't believe he's conceded 4 goals. Yeah, I think they'll go down. Yeah. What are the other scores? Oh, West Brom 1-0.
Rovers.
Burnley 2-0 up, Ben.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at your fantasy team this week, shall we?
Oh, don't do that.
You're not as bad as someone else in our mini league because he forgot to change his team.
Yeah, I didn't change
You're on 55 at the minute, Ben.
Yeah, I didn't change my team stupidly, and Kershaw gobshiting at me.
Yeah, you're not done bad, mate. I'm on 83 for the week so far.
Yeah,
but I've still got goals to come for Isidore. Oh no, I haven't.
Any final questions? Get them in the comments below before we do head off.
We've done predictions for Saturday's games already, haven't we?
We've done predictions. Yeah, I just thought extra show, you lucky people.
Aren't we just?
I was meant to see an Emma tonight, so I've cancelled that to do this show. All I can say, it's not gone down well. That's all I'll say.
Well, what she said.
She went, I can't believe you're prioritising the League One stream. No, she was fine.
It's not the League One stream is prioritising Emma. It's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
How you get him every great question, Will. I like this question. You
like us, aren't you, Ben?
Yeah, Fleetwood and Lincoln. Hold on. They're 10-10-10. We're 10-10-9 till weekend. We've got loads of players out injured. We've got Zet Medley out injured for the season. We've got Virtue now out for 6 to 8 weeks. Cover, what?
Foot season.
Cover was holding his hamstring. We've got no strike. We've got young lad on loan from Sheffield United. Got a young lad on loan from Villa. I've all never played in the league before. And then we've got Graydon, who's scored 3 goals all year. He's good lad, Graydon, but he needs to start scoring goals. He's a centre forward, and that's where all he plays. He offers a lot, but why I want to be a side that's hard to beat, hard to break down, and that means, well, we're very long and direct this time of the year. It's not his side. He'll go again in the summer. I just want the end of the season. I hate this league, and I'm hating everything about it. Yesterday was torture. That was the longest 90 minutes of my life.
You got a new Twitter follower, didn't you, yesterday?
Yes. JJ. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie, for putting in a good word there. JJ with a follow. Appreciate that. Also, I'm 9 followers away from 10K on Twitter. So if you fancy dropping us a follow on FTFC Nappers.
Who's the next manager to get the chop, Ben, in your opinion?
I don't think Ferguson will go. I don't think he'll sack Cloughy. I
genuinely think we're back looking at Gary Caldwell.
Yeah. But then yesterday, a good game in the cup.
Oh, no, sorry. Gary Monk. Absolutely. Gary Monk. Got to get him gone.
I think maybe Gary Bowyer. He's not doing very well, is he? He's not won in the last 2 games. Stands to slipping at that football club.
Sue's got her eyes out. Thinking
pathetic, Sue. Don't turn on the players.
Pathetic. You can't be
Read the room, Sue.
I've never known you so negative.
Yeah. Says a lot when...
Honestly, you'd have thought the football club could really do with some positivity. There was a question, Ben, about Lincoln up here. Let me find it. Here he is. Can I read it to you? Fear the worst for us imps. God, you sound like someone that I work with. Of the next couple of games. I like Scoobs, but I'm starting to question some of his tactics and substitutions. Wonder if Jake feels the same. A little bit. His substitutions are quite bizarre.
Yeah. I don't like managers with 10 minutes to go yesterday that go like for like. I think there's chance to win the game. Go like.
I love Mike. I think Michael's I think he's a great head coach. But
yeah,
like there was a game. Was it the Rotherham game or it was a game we had at home, and we were 0-0 in the game at the time, and he took off Bailey Cadamartra and Jack Moylan, and those were the 2 players that looked like they were actually going to score.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand the frustration, but I don't know. I think we're okay.
Was it the Stevenage game?
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, and they booed, and Bailey looked at the crowd and was like, "Why am I getting booed off?" But it's not that; it's the subs.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
the Lincoln have got a lot. Oh,
I think we'll be okay.
Lincoln have got a lot of 6s out 10s, too inconsistent.
And also, I think what we're doing is we are building for.
Yeah, by the way, we take Cochran off every game on 60 minutes. It's stupid when he's fit, of course. Stupid.
I think we need to. I think the money in the summer we'll get for Ethan, and the money that we'll get for Sean will help.
I think you should go in for Boston as well on loan.
I think the club probably want a more permanent option in there.
I don't get that because a loan will make you better. Boston
I think we're going to go back to having I think we're going to go back to having the A-star loans because, well, our last couple of A-star loans are doing all right for themselves, aren't they, Ben? Them 2.
They're not doing too bad.
They're not doing too bad. One scored a hat-trick in the Champions League the other week, so he's not doing too bad.
Yeah. Right. That's the end of tonight's stream. Thanks for joining me, Jake.
Thanks, mate. I've really enjoyed that. I'm going to go and have some protein ice cream now. Chin chin.
Lovely, mate. Thank you very much for watching. Please drop a like. Please drop a subscription on your way out. It would be greatly appreciated. Just 2 subscribers away from that big 16,400. If you could just help us out, that'd be greatly appreciated. Until next time, I will see you later. Be back on Saturday. Bromley away. Sunday on here, 8 o'clock. League One Power, 90 minutes. See you then.
See you later.
Bye all.
Shalom, Jackie.
You look nice.
Look at that. Look what great pitch for JJ that is, by the way.
Yeah. Don't have your picture on here, mate. I've deleted all your pictures on here.
Have you?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. No, you
I have.
haven't.
Genuinely.
You haven't. You're gonna put one up. You're gonna put one up on the screen.
I genuinely, right? I don't. I genuinely. I
I
promise
don't
you.
believe you. I don't believe
Mate,
you.
I
'Cause
swear on my
I know
life.
what you're doing. I think you're scrolling through them and going, where can I just? I'm gonna
Mate,
whack it
mate,
on.
I'll send you a picture. Genuinely.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
Look. It's not there, is it?
What am I supposed?
See?
What am I looking at?
It's gone. My overlay.
What am I looking? What am I looking at?
My screen in the bottom corner here.
I can't see you.
You should be able to.
I can't see you.
Bye.